Welcome back to Keystyle Media Podcast. I'm your host, Yev Z. In this episode, I'll be discussing when and why you should work for free.
Welcome to a brand new episode. Keystyle Media Podcast with Yev Z.
Once again, welcome back to a new episode of Keystyle Media Podcast. My name is Yev, Las Vegas based brand photographer. In this episode, I decided to discuss when and why you should work for free. First, I want to say that I am not going to tell you what you should or shouldn't do. I'm just going to simply take you on a journey of my experience for 10 plus years in photography business to kind of show you where I chose to work for free and also my why behind it. And also, as usual, I want to take a quick moment and say thank you to everyone who's tuning in, who's listening to this podcast, and who's giving me suggestions how to make this podcast better. I am extremely grateful to each one of you. So, to take you on a journey, when and why I chose to work for free, I have to take you back over 10 years ago when I purchased my first camera. When I first held that camera, when I went inside of Best Buy, purchased a Nikon camera, I started playing with the camera to where I realized that I had no idea what I was doing. And also, I realized that I do not like Nikon. I went back to the same Best Buy and begged a representative because it was over the period of time when you can return or exchange item to beg them to exchange for another camera. With the manager assistant, I was able to negotiate my way through and get Canon. And since that moment, I am a Canon shooter. But this is not an episode where we're going to discuss which camera is better. This is episode to discuss when and why I chose to work for free. So once I got that camera, I started playing around and I realized that I had no idea what I was doing. So in order for me to gain the skills, gain the experience, and to explore photography as I know what photography is now, I needed to create a portfolio. And the only way to do that is I needed some subjects to stand in front of me. See, when I got that camera did not leave my hand for like probably a year, where I went any road trip, any outing with friends, any gathering with friends, anywhere I went, any event, whatever it was, I was taking pictures because I enjoyed it. And by taking pictures, no matter where I went, I was gaining experience. I was getting that knowledge that led me to where I am today. And in order to take pictures of people, I needed to ask people to stand in front of me. And as I'm thinking and discussing this now, I should have been paying those people who, I don't want to say suffering, but who spend multiple times, multiple hours in front of my camera while I was trying to figure out things of photography and what photography it really is. And this is the very first instance where I needed to work for free because I did not know what I was doing. And number two, I wanted to learn photography. And number three, no one was going to pay me because I just got camera. As I was developing photography skills, I wanted to dive into editorial and commercial style of photography. Right? I got comfortable with posing, I got comfortable with lighting, but I didn't have a portfolio that showed my editorial or magazine style commercial look. And the only way to obtain, again, some kind of a decent portfolio, I needed to make sure that I have great models. And the only way to do that is to reach out to your local agencies to obtain models that will work for specific look that I was going. By reaching out to the local agencies, I was able to obtain models that were willing to also, once again, to pose for me, essentially, and there were no money exchange. And as a result, both parties are working for free, but we're creating something that we were able to use to our advantage in the future because I was building my photography portfolio. They were building the modeling portfolio. And in this instance, there were both parties benefiting, from our work where we didn't have to pay each other. As I was growing in the photography business, as I was exploring and kind of learning more and more and more about photography and new techniques. And one day clearly remember sitting, I don't remember where I was, but I remember thinking that how can I, with my photography, uh, kind of do good? What I mean by that is how, with my photography, I can do something to impact in a positive manner, positive way in my local community. So I start kind of like thinking, well, what can I do? This thinking led me to this. It led me to a nonprofit organization that helps rescue dogs. So what I did is I reached out. I talked to a nice lady who, told me where to go, where to meet them, and it was an event where they brought pretty much every single dog they had. And this was inside of a local pet store. I'm not going to say the name. It doesn't really matter where it was. What matter is I was able to show up and bring each individual dog outside and take pictures without them being inside of the cage. Because by creating those images, you can clearly see dogs' personalities instead of taking pictures of them being so scared inside of the cage where you don't see the personality and it does not attract right owner to the rescue dog. So this is another instance where kind of opportunity presented itself. I jumped on that opportunity and I was able to donate my skill to a local community where as a result, what happened with me is when I decided to adopt a dog and reached out to that particular organizations, they were willing to help me to adopt the dog with almost no time spent, with no supervision, with nothing, because they saw how I was treating dogs at that particular event. So it was like so beneficial for the organizations that I was there. But as a result, I've gained even more. I've gotten something that, first of all, it fed my soul that I was able to do something good for my community. And also, I was able to obtain the most amazing dog that I could ask for. And as a as whole, there are so many other opportunities where I chose to work for free. But I'm not here to brag what I did. I am here to inspire and open your eyes that you as a creative, whatever it is you doing, or even if you're not a creator, there's so many things that we can do in our local community to help our local communities by simply donating whatever time you can donate. I sometimes spend more time scrolling on Instagram or Facebook, where if I would just put my phone down and go out there in the world and offer my services to organizations that could really, really use them but cannot afford them, we can potentially change the world. Maybe not the world. It will take a lot of much more work than to change the world, but it will create an impact, positive impact in a community. You know, there are so many organizations here locally in Las Vegas. I also worked with this another organization. I just don't want to name the names because the names are not important. What important is there are plenty of opportunities for us as creatives to donate our time and our efforts to bring an awareness to do something positive with our art. And today, after working in this industry for over 10 years, I know that I'm capable and willing. And also, there's so many opportunities to do an amazing things with our art. And, I've even gone as far as donating one of my prints. And I mean, now that I'm thinking, I don't even know what happened and who got it. But the point is that I was willing to just assign the print to someone who was going to bid whatever money they're going to bid. And that particular nonprofit organization was going to use that money to do something good. And, as a result of all of this, it feels good and just do good something for my city, for my community, and for everyone around me. And, I have a lot of friends that are artists. I have a lot of friends that do similar things that but in different genres, in a way that they found their own path onto how to donate their time and effort to bring in awareness or to help someone in need through photography. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a very beautiful thing. And with that, I just want to encourage every single person who's listening, whether you are a creative, whether you are not creative, whatever is your path, whatever is your passion, whatever you do for a living, don't hesitate to reach out to your local communities, to your local organizations that will always welcome you with open arms if you would like to donate your time, your effort, your art, whatever is you would like to kind of donate to them. They will be more than happy to accept it. I hope I was able to encourage you to go out there and participate in your community, to do good for someone who will be more than grateful for your help, for your art. And as a result, we can make our communities that much more better. With that,
thanks for listening to the Keystyle Media Podcast.